Hello everyone. So this particular video is meant for those who have access to the source code for this Next13 e-commerce application, and the source code is available on my Patreon. So if you need the source code, you can get it on my Patreon. Here I'll leave a link at the description section below, and it's only $3 per month. And also you will have access to all the other source codes that are available right here. Yeah, we have several. And also you can give me direct DMs on Patreon, and I'll give your messages a priority if you want to ask me any questions. So I was getting a lot of questions on how to run this application once you have the source code, on how to run an application that you only have the source code, you don't have some of the things set up, and you want to set it up by yourself. So the first thing is to just download the zipped code. So here I'll just click on this zipped code and I'll go ahead and save it somewhere. So there we go. I'll go to that particular disk and I'll extract the source code. So here I'll go ahead and extract like that, and I have it here now. Normally you will no longer need that, so I'll go ahead and remove it. And this folder has another folder in here. I don't like that, but I can always cut that, come back to the root here and paste it. So once I do that, once I click this, I'll have all the code right here in just one folder. Okay, so that is how I like to do it. Now once I'm here, I will click on the path here and I can open this with Visual Studio Code. So I type CMD here on Windows to open the folder along this path, and then right here I can just say code space and a period, and this will open the code on my Visual Studio Code. And I had another one opened here, so I'll go ahead and just close it. So here we are. So the things that you should set up is a .env file, and it will have all these environment variables for everything to work as required. And then at libs you should set up your firebase.ts. so this one right here, because in that particular application or this particular application we are using Firebase storage for storing images. So those are the two things that should be set up. Also another thing is that we should install all the dependencies that are in our package.json file. All this should be installed, and it's easy to install all these dependencies. You just need to pop your terminal. From the terminal you just run npm I or npm install, and that will get all the dependencies from the package.json file, and it will install those dependencies in a node modules folder. Okay, now the first thing, I think I'll start with the easy things to set up. We need to create .env file, so I'll go ahead and say .env, and then from here I'll copy these ones and I'll come to the .env and I'll paste them here. We need a database URL. This is MongoDB database URL. Maybe I should have specified that it's MongoDB. So just go to MongoDB, and from here I already have some projects opened. I think I can go to Charles.org here. So you need to first create an organization. If you are just starting out, go to mongodb.com, create an account, then you will create an organization, and then from organization I think you will create a project. So I'm waiting for this. You need to create a new project. I can say eShop-setup. I click next, right here, create project. And then from here you will create a deployment. I'll click on create there, and from here you will see that we have this free tier, so just go with the free one and create. I'm asked to select bicycles. I think those are all the bicycles. Do we have a bicycle here? I think we do, so it might fail. I don't know, let's see. Okay, it went through. Awesome. So here you are required to select a username and a password. Normally I just choose a simple username, especially if it's just for development or a tutorial, so, and a simple password. So I'll create those. Don't use those are not strong passwords at all. Then here we have to set up an IP address. You can select this, but the IP address normally changes, so I usually allow IP address from everywhere but I'll show you how to do that. So I can't remember the exact values, so I click on finish here and close. Congratulations. I'll go to overview. Awesome. So now we have this MongoDB setup and we have our cluster. You can click on this arrow to go to your collections and so on. Now we need to allow access from everywhere, so go to security, then network access. Then I think we can either edit this or add a new one. I'll click on add IP address, then click on allow access from anywhere, and this value will allow you to access this from anywhere. It's not secure, but if you are developing, it's better for developer experience. So create that. I think we need to refresh to see the status is active. I don't think it will update by itself. There we go. Awesome. So now you can go back to the database here, and from the database click on connect. Then you can go to MongoDB for VS Code here, and you'll get this connection string. Just click on copy, then go back to your VS Code, and from the DB you can paste that right here. Right here you'll need to include your password, so remove that and include your password that you had set up just a few minutes ago. And then at the end here you can set up a DB name like eShop. I'll call it setup. I'm going to delete all this later on, so don't use this string, just create your own, and you save that file. Now the next thing that you should do once you have your MongoDB up and running is to configure your Prisma and MongoDB by running a command. So here you need to run this command, npx. I think this is one of the things that might get you confused during the setup. You need to call npx prisma, then db push. Okay, then you hit enter. I'll allow access, and okay, once I allow access, we can check the message here. Prisma schema loaded from Prisma schema and so on. So this, what it will do, it will take our Prisma schema here and it will put that in sync with our MongoDB. So if we go to our MongoDB again now, I'll close this. Let me refresh here. You'll see that we are able maybe to access the collections. Let's see. Look, now these are active. If I browse collections, let's see what we have. We have all this. We have account, we have order, we have product, review, user. They are here, although they are empty, but this means that our MongoDB and Prisma were successfully configured. So that's a good step to begin with. And at this point, I think you can be able to create a user using an email and password. So here you just need to run npm run dev to start the application. So this should start the application at localhost. So I can use control and click on this link that will open it on the browser here. So we have it here. Before we create the user with email and password, back to our .env, we should set up this one, next auth secret. So this is a secret key that will be used by our next auth for JWT, and this we used it at pages and auth, next auth. And right here at the very bottom you'll see we have this one, process.env next auth secret, to be used by our JWT. So here you can just put a random string of characters. You can generate a random key here, something strong. Okay, for this one it's just an example, super secret key. Okay, that will do. I'll go ahead and save. Okay, here we are. So this took a lot of time to start but it finally did. And right now we don't have any products because we haven't created any products in our DB. That's why we can see no products found. Click on all to clear filter and so on. We have our cart. So this cart is getting the data from my local storage, since we are on localhost and I was previously working on an app. And yeah, actually to clear this, I can clear it so that we are on the same page. What I can do is to go to the local storage. So I can go to application, then go to local storage, and we had this eShop cart items. Since I'm using the same keys and so on, that's why it's loading here. But what I can do, I can just delete, I can clear the local storage. And now if I refresh here, everything should be gone, and I can visit the cart now without any errors. So if I visit the cart, it's empty. Awesome. So now we are on the same page, and we can go to register here, and we can try to register a user using an email and a password, since we have set up our MongoDB. Now here we can create a user. I'll say Charles, and here we'll say Charles at gmail.com. I can copy this one as a password and sign up. So it's loading. Give it some time. Let's see if it works. Account created. Awesome. That's a good sign. It's loading. Logged in. It's loading, and we are logged in now. And when I click here, you no longer see login and register. So this means that our auth for email and password, it's working. So if I come back to eShop and we hit refresh, actually it's loading. Let's go to users and see loading documents. There we go. We have our account. So email and password is working, and our MongoDB connection is working. Now let's see how you can set up Google Auth. For Google Auth, we need to set up the client ID and the client secret. To set up these, we will go to Google Cloud Console. So search for Google Console or Google Cloud Console, then click on Google Cloud Console, and from here you'll need to create an application. For me, I already have this eShop, and I also created another one when creating the tutorial, but I'll create another one now to show you how to install the using this code. So here what you need to do is to click on this drop down, then click on new project. Then from here you can give your app a name, and I'll say eShop setup. For organization, you can left it empty, I think. So just click on create. Once it's created here, it's loading. Click on select project, and it's selected. You should see it here, or you can just come to the drop down and click it from here. Okay. Once you do that, you can come to API and services, or you can search API here and go to API and services. As well, you can come to the drop down here at the menu, go to API and services. Okay, and at API and services, let it load. You can go to OAuth consent screen, click on that one, and from here click external, click create, then give your app a name, eShop setup. Here we choose an email. These are optional, so you can leave them blank. Here you set an email, save. So from here click save and continue, click save and continue, and we have it right here. Now from here go to credentials. Now once you create your OAuth consent screen, and here click on create credentials, go to OAuth client ID, set the application type as web application. This can be that one. Create an authorized redirect URL. So from here you can set this URL for localhost, HTTP localhost 3000, and then you add this stroke API stroke auth stroke callback stroke Google. Okay, and if you happen to deploy your application, you'll have to add another URL here or change this one, okay, so that it works. So if you deploy your application, remember to come back and update the redirect URL. So here just go ahead and create OAuth client created, and now after that you can see we have the client ID and we have the client secret. Copy the client ID, go to your VS Code, and I'll include a space and paste it there. Come here, client secret, copy, go to your VS Code, come back and paste it. Go ahead and save that file. Now you can go back to your localhost application. Let's log out and we try to continue with Google. So once we log out, I wish I was redirecting the user back to the login forms, but I was not, but it's logged out now. So I refresh. So I click here and I go to login. I click continue with Google. And from here, you can now choose any Google account that you have access to. So I'll go with my first one here. It's loading. Now we are logged in and it's redirecting. And you can see here we have this logo from my email and we are logged in with Google. Amazing. Now if I come back to my databases and hit refresh, you'll see we have two accounts. We have this one, this is from Google. And when I click on account here, you'll see we have details for that Google Auth. We have the type as OAuth, provider Google, access token, ID token, and so on. So for Auth, it's working. Awesome. So from here, I think the next big thing that we will do is to set up the Firebase so that we can be able to create products in our application and then make use of those products to add them to cart and buy them and so on. To set up your Firebase, just go to Firebase. Okay, I have a lot of links here. I was looking for a shortcut, but let's go through the normal process here. Now, if you are already logged in with Google, I think it will already be logged in here. But if it's not, I think you can log in or add an account, then go to console. Click on go to console. Then from here, you will need to add a project. You can reuse your previous one if you want, but I'll click on add new project. And I'm almost reaching my limit, I guess. So here, I'll say eShop Set-Up. I think it will tell me the name is taken. It didn't, so I'll go with that one. Continue. Then I'll continue here. You can disable analytics if you want. Configure Google Analytics. Oh, I don't want to configure analytics. Let's uncheck that and create project. So it's creating now. Now, once we are here, what should we do? Okay, I think we should click on web. We register a web app, eShop Setup, register. So once we register, you'll need to install Firebase, but I think we already did through our dependencies. So if we come to package.json, we should be having Firebase in this list. Here we are. We have a lot of stuff there. Anyway, we should be having it installed, so we won't install again. Now, if you go to libs, then go to firebase.ts, you'll see this information here is the one that is here. So you just need to copy this in here. This Firebase config, you can copy the entire of this object. You just need to copy that and then you paste it here like that. So we have all those. You save that file. Now, one last thing we need to do. Let's click on go to console. We need to configure Firebase storage. I can't see it here. Okay, there we go. So they are here. Click on storage, this storage, and click on get started. I think I'll go with the production mode. Okay, next. Can't remember what I used earlier. After you have set up this location, you cannot change it later. Set up a location, maybe the one that is near you for it to be fast. I'll go with the default. Wait for it. Give it time. Setting up security roles. We will need to change the security roles because in production, it will not allow us to save the data here since we are not using Firebase Auth. And later I'm planning to create a tutorial on Firebase authentication, how you can use Google login, mobile phone login, and so on for authentication. So let me know if you like that at the comment section below, and then I'll prepare it after the full course. Okay. So right here we have the files. We don't have anything. Let's go to rules. So this is what we are interested in for us to be done with this. Just delete this last part. Remove if false. and let it be that way and publish. Okay, so it will be allow read write. That will allow read write to anyone. We don't have to be authenticated. Awesome. Now we have set up our Firebase. We need to test this, but we can only create a product if we are admins. So to make an admin, just go to your database, go to users, and here we have roles. Take one of the user. I'll take the currently logged in user, and you will edit this particular value here. So you can double click it for it to bring an editor like this, and then use caps admin like that. Okay, click out here, and do I need to apply or anything, or it has changed? Let me refresh to make sure that it has updated, so that I don't go to test and maybe it didn't update. You see, it didn't update, it's still user. So maybe click on this, and then here double click, then remove this, set this as admin caps, make sure it's caps. So here update, it's updating, and there we go. So once it's updated, now this user will be an admin. I don't know if I reload, it will auto detect that and show the admin dashboard. It does actually. So just click on admin dashboard. So from admin dashboard, go to add product. You see, we already have 2 total users. It's working well so far. Go to add products. It's not going there. During development, it usually rebuilds each page. That is why it becomes slow. So we will try to create a product, and fingers crossed it works. So let's create an iPhone here. The price can be anything, that much. Brand Apple. Description, good iPhone. Nothing serious here. Okay, just to test it. Let's say it's in stock, it's a phone. I don't know which color I have. I think I have white. Let's select this image. So I'll select this white one, open. Let's select two to make sure they work. Which other? Let me just select a random one. Oh, I already clicked on create, but let's see what it does. I clicked on create by mistake. So product created, the good thing. And let's go to eShop here, see if we have any product. So look, we have an iPhone and the image loaded. Awesome. We click on this and there we go. We can add it to cart, view cart, and here we are. Awesome. What about checkout? So it won't check out because we don't have a Stripe setup. Now if you go to your database and come to files, your Firebase first, you'll see we have products and we have that product image that we have uploaded. Awesome. That is cool. So one last thing that I think you need to set up is your Stripe. So you need Stripe secret key, then next public Stripe publishable key, and a Stripe webhook secret. So for all this, I'll try to make it short. You need to go to your Stripe dashboard. So just search Stripe, then click on that. And from here, sign in or create an account if you don't have one. If your location doesn't support Stripe, I think you can select any location for testing purposes. So I think mine is already logged in. That's awesome if it's logged in. Once you are logged in, you need to click on developers. Once you click on developers, you need to click on API keys. And from API keys, you'll have your publishable key here, and you can copy this one. Okay, did I copy? You can copy. Okay, copied. That is the publishable key. Then I go back here and publishable key, source space, and I add it. Then you need to copy your secret key. So I have copied my secret key. Then come to VS Code space, paste it there. Oh, no, not here, sorry. This one, secret key is this one. Paste it here. Now we have this webhook secret. For now, I think I'll ignore it because it has a lot of setup, and I already have a video on it, on how to set up the webhook secret key. But I can guide you here what you need to do. So you need to go to webhooks, and from here, I think the hosted endpoint is the easiest. So you'll have to first deploy the application, and then you include the link here. For example, if I click on this one right here, this is the hosted endpoint. Once I click on that, you can see we have sign in secret. So if I reveal it, I have this secret key which I can use for the hosted endpoint. So once you host the application or deploy the application, you can easily come to add an endpoint here, and you add the link, and that will give you that secret key. Okay, so that is the easiest path that you have. Another path is for these local listeners, which you can set up to get the key. And for this, I redirect you to a video that I already have here on YouTube, which you can use. So to get the key for the webhook on local and how to run it on local, I recommend that you go to my videos. Can I search it? I don't know if it will come. Let's see, Stripe. You can search for Stripe webhooks. Then search for Chaoo Charles channel. Add Chaoo Charles for it to come quick. Chaoo Charles. Click on enter. And look, we have this video called Stripe webhooks. So if you follow this video, you will see how we get the key. All you need is the key, and to make your local webhook running. So you'll take that key, paste it on right here, and then you'll follow the instructions on how to run that webhook on your local machine. The alternative I told you is to deploy this application, and then you get that hosted endpoint, add it to Stripe, add it here, and then you'll get that key right here at the sign-in secret. You just reveal it, you get it, and you copy and paste it there. So I'll leave that up to you. If you have any issues, just reach out to me on Twitter or reach out to me on Discord. So first of all, let's see if our Stripe payment works, since we have set up the keys for that. So here at payments, so I'll go to the app here and I'll check out now. Okay, loading checkout. Okay, it's loading all this. There we go. Let's try to process the payment. We are trying to pay $20,000, so we don't have that right here. So if you go to all payments, I think payments, I don't know how I came here. Okay, I clicked on payments here. If you go to payments, then all payments, you can see we have already created this payment intent. So it's already working since it created this payment intent. That is awesome. Let's complete the payment using a dummy data or dummy details. So address, NA, card. We have a test card 4242424242424242. Then expiration 4444444444. Any future date, any three numbers for CVC. I pay, processing, and checkout success. So payment was success. If we come back to Stripe and we refresh here, there we go, this succeeded. Okay, actually it created the order. The only thing it didn't do is that it didn't mark the payment status as success because of the webhook again. So it created the order actually, so that's good. So if you go to your orders, you'll see this. If you go to admin dashboard, now you will see that you have at least one order. Here we are. You'll see total products, total order, one unpaid order. Paid order is 0 because it didn't update the DB. Also the total sales is 0 because it didn't update the DB. But if you go to manage orders, you'll see all these tables are now working. So this is how you can take the code that is complete from my Patreon, and then you can run it like this. you set up your .env file, you set up your Firebase file, and you'll be good to go. So these routes are taking too long to load, and we have these here. And also for products, you'll have at least one product which is in stock. So that is it for this video, and yeah,